Hello.
Welcome to continue as guest.
Mm-hmm.
We are your lovely hosts. My
name's Casey.
My name is Tina. We're just gonna talk about everything and anything.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we decided. There's no rhyme, no reason, but we're just gonna do it. Because we have things to say. Let's start off. Daylight savings.
Oh, yeah.
I just threw that in there because Chase told me.
Yeah, they're gonna get rid of it.
So,
How do you feel about that, though?
first off, I've never felt so stupid in my life. I thought, maybe I'm not the only one, this is why we're voicing our opinions that no one asked for. I thought that daylight saving was, it has to happen. Like, it's for the earth. Like,
well,
it's just a part of Earth.
Because everybody makes such a big deal about it, like, oh, make sure you set your clocks right tonight, blah, 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 you know. So we just kind of assumed that had to be that way.
But, like, if we didn't set our clocks later...
Time is essentially a construct. There's day and there's night.
Oh my god.
But we just kind of decided what times were going to be what times. Based on what makes sense for the structure of our society, you know, like work, sleeping.
I feel like I've been lied to, you know?
Yeah.
Like, this is so weird. I really thought it was for, like, the planet. And I know that makes no sense, but that's honestly how I thought about it.
It confused me when I was younger.
Because the sunlight.
Yeah.
So if we didn't change it...
Well, it's definitely going to make the mornings darker, I think, for a period of time. But I think that it essentially will benefit us more because we'll have more daylight when we get off work. We can go do things. Like, I know I've enjoyed the fact that, you know, when I'm still at the gym, it's bright outside. That's nice.
Yes.
I have one friend who, she's really excited about it because she complained about losing an hour of sleep because of the whole daylight savings time switch. And I think that's a big reason why people are like, oh my god, yes, finally. I never really cared. I've always been very neutral about daylight savings because I never really notice an hour of missed sleep or an hour extra of sleep. I always get enough sleep.
I loved it because it was like change. And I like change because I feel like it keeps us on our toes. It keeps us being able to adapt. So I loved it when it changed because it's like, okay, it's time to change my routine. Okay, it's time to I liked in the fall when we fell back an hour because even though it would feel so late because it's so dark, it really wasn't that late. And I was just like, whoa, I have more time in the day.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just so mind blown. And now, like, Senate is just able to, like, vote it. Like, that's the one thing they can get together is to vote on that.
Yeah. Well, it might scare you to know this, but there's actually a lot of things that are just constructs for us. And time is one of those things.
I feel like I'm in a constant state of, like, you know, that subreddit where it's like, today I learned.
Yes.
I feel like I'm always learning something that I should have already known.
Yes. Kind of like how the whole 8-hour work day, became a thing in the industrial era, I believe. With factory work and everything, they were overworking their employees, and so they developed the 8-hour work day, essentially, I think. Don't quote me on that. I'm sure you can find better information if you research it, but that's, from my understanding, is where we get the 8-hour work week. It's because of, like, unions and being like, hey, we can't work this much. But 8 hours is still a lot, in my opinion.
This is crazy. I know, we should be back. What is it, like, there's a lot of European and maybe Asian places where it's just like, nah.
Well, there's businesses that have days where they're closed.
Mm-hmm.
Like restaurants and stuff that have days that they'll be closed. There's also limited hours, like restaurants, for example. Sometimes they'll be open for like a certain amount.
Yeah, like
down.
only dinner.
Yeah.
Ah,
yeah. Kind of like brunch places too. And then I know, I personally think what would be nice is to have a 4-day work week instead of a 5-day work week.
I agree. I think that would alleviate a lot of stress.
Because you gotta think, you know, you work Monday through Friday. Let's say that's your schedule. I mean, everybody's got different jobs, so they have different schedules.
Mm-hmm.
But let's say you work a desk job Monday through Friday. Saturday and Sunday are left to not only try to relax, but also to catch up on maybe appointments or, chores. I mean, appointments you can't even really do on the weekends, but maybe certain things you can. I mean, 2 days out of a whole week of working is very difficult.
It's tight because some days, like, I only have 1 day off a week, and then my 1 day off ends up being like, I'm doing chores, I'm running errands, I'm not even really off and relaxing. So crazy. All of this is crazy.
Yeah, and you gotta think, too, you spend so much time at work. Even though it's only 8 hours, it's 8 hours
like
of
half
your day.
Life you're at work.
Most time is spent at work. I mean, I'll tell you, this is a funny little sidebar, but I noticed a huge difference from working at home to working in the office because I'm not burning through hand soap as much working in the office because I'm not using my own bathroom.
Exactly.
And I feel like a lot of people who are transitioning from working from home to in office, I feel like they might notice difference in like electricity, water usage, things like that.
Definitely. Eating, from my biggest problem when I was working from home was I literally, like, lived in my living room, and then I would always just glance over my fridge, like,
I was having issues with that, too. Mm-hmm.
So, I prefer working in the office, for sure, but I've come to realize working in the office makes me be able to stand around, like, makes me able to be around my family more, because I work with idiots, just like everyone else. And now I'm just like, when I see my family, I'm like, oh, you guys aren't as bad as I remember. Because I spend just as much time with my coworkers as I do my family.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I liked the perks of working from home. I worked from home for, like, on and off 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
I liked not having to drive and use gas. I liked being able to, like, clean during my lunch break or take care of a chore real quick.
It was definitely more productive when it came to, like, house chores and stuff and laundry.
But I will say that, like, since my ADD is really bad, working in the office is a better setting for me because I would feel weird to not focus on work because I have peers around me. But at home, I would be, like, goofing off.
I would watch YouTube, Netflix, catch up on all that.
I'd get caught up in a podcast I was watching, and I'm a diligent worker. It's just I would naturally gravitate towards, oh my god, what did they say? Let me rewind that, so.
A lot of people's problems was distinguishing, like, separating work and home.
Yeah.
So I think it definitely is a good balance to be able to have both. So, I mean, coming out of COVID, it definitely...
It's so weird now because I know a lot of places are lifting their mask requirements.
Yes.
My job, one of them.
My job, too.
And I haven't been wearing a mask. My boss told me she's cool with it, comfortable with it, and I'm updated on my vaccines and everything. So I've been walking around without a mask. And it's so weird. It is.
I always feel like I'm missing something. I'm like, what am I missing?
Like,
what am I missing?
And also it's weird for people to see my mouth because for the longest time it was hidden. And I felt super cute because, like, you just only see half my face. we're good to go.
Yes.
But now people are...
mystery.
Now people are seeing my mouth, and I've noticed, too, I make the weirdest fucking faces. I really do. I've always have, but they got worse over COVID because I literally will look at someone instead of, like, smiling like a normal individual, I would be like...
I already made weird faces, so now people see it more, and they're just like, wow, you're really animated. I'm like, thank you.
I was this whole time. You just couldn't tell. You could only see my eyeballs.
Is that a compliment? Thank you. I
guess.
So it's definitely... COVID was fucking weird. I still can't believe that happened. It makes
me feel gross that people can see my mouth now. Like, it feels like I'm naked and that this is all...
I always have to check my teeth. I always feel like people are looking at my teeth, and I'm just like, don't look at my teeth.
I am now insecure in my teeth, now that I'm not wearing my mask.
Yes.
And I was never really that insecure about it. I don't know.
COVID was weird.
It was weird. The 2020 part of COVID, like, when it first happened... It was a very interesting time because I know a lot of people gravitated towards TikTok. I mean, TikTok had been out for a while, but a lot more people that usually wouldn't use the app had gravitated towards it.
Hell yeah.
So those TikToks I've still, like, burned into my memory because that's when the pandemic started. So I still have the certain TikTok sounds in my head.
Oh yeah, it's just like Vine. Like, back in the day, you just quote the same things or the same music you would hear. You'd be like, oh, I know that TikTok.
Yeah, and then I know Animal Crossing came out around that time, the new one, and a lot of people were playing that. It felt kind of like a community. It was really nice. So it was interesting because even though that was an awful time, a lot of people dying, awful, it was it's interesting to look back on because I was like, it wasn't, for me personally, because I didn't have any of the issues.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it was kind of interesting to look back on, and it wasn't that negative of an experience for me personally.
For me, it wasn't either. It was just so...
It was bizarre.
Different.
It was so bizarre.
It was just, like, going from doing whatever to, literally being able... Like, being told, like, you cannot do this.
Yeah.
It was super weird. I felt like I was going crazy in a sense of, like, drinking a bottle of wine a night. But that wasn't just me. That was me and Chase.
Well...
And
also, I don't think... I mean, that's another topic for another day, but I don't think that's necessarily bad depending on how you handle it. Because I hate when people assume that the amount of you drink, let's say you do it on, like, a Wednesday or Thursday, you know?
Yeah.
Like, if you're not drinking every day and you're not drinking that amount every day, you know what I mean?
I don't think it's bad.
I don't think it's bad. Now, if you're drinking it because it's a crutch and you
need it to, like, get out of... the house.
Like, don't get me wrong, like, I've had bad days where I'm like, I really want to drink. Like, and that's fine, I think.
That's my first reaction when I'm having a bad day. I'm like, I need a hard drink.
My first reaction is I'm going to get something greasy and fattening, and I'm not going to feel bad about it.
Exactly.
That's my first reaction, because I can do that at work. I can just go to, like, fast food place during my lunch break.
So easy to go to fast food. That's my biggest vice, is, like, just fast food.
Me too.
Fast food.
I mean, we just had Taco Bell.
We did have Taco Bell. That's why if you hear anything bubbling, it's my belly. It's bubbling. Crazy. Yeah, no.
It kind of feels like looking back at it, kind of feels like a fever dream a little bit. Like, I can't believe it happened.
I did the craziest things during COVID. And one of them... Oh! Yeah, that's for another day. I gotta warm up to you.
We were all really crazy, actually, because I partied pretty hard during COVID, which is funny because you weren't supposed to be like.
We weren't supposed to, but that's what made it more fun because you couldn't do it, and you were like, I'm a rebel, the inner rebel in you, the inner teenage angst child, just doing things you're not supposed to.
So, as you know, I used to live with a lot of people during that period. Mm-hmm. So when everybody was like, "Oh, I'm on lockdown. I haven't seen people in this many months," I'm like, "Oh, I can't. I'm constantly around people." And I would go through my TikTok and be like, "Yeah, same. Lockdown."
I'd be like, "Oh my god, I did not just go to a bar where I should not have been. I have to sneeze." Just kidding. Nope, that's not happening. My craziest thing was just moving in with my boyfriend of only like 4 or 5 months. Moving in, thinking that we were only going to do it for a couple weeks till we had to go back to work because they were like, you have to work from home for 2 weeks. Yes, I shat where I ate. I dated my coworker, and
me too.
Yeah,
it happened. Yeah, it happens.
Whoa, life.
I think as long as you're not planning on staying there forever, I think it's a solid move to find your partner at your workplace, depending on where you work, because
I actually intended to be there for like a long while, and then I started seeing shit and I was like, whoa, that's a no for me, dog.
Yeah.
But it was just crazy because we went from like, oh, it's only gonna be a couple weeks to like 1.5 years of living together. And we didn't actually break up.
Uh-huh.
It was rocky, but we didn't break up, and we didn't abuse each other. Unless we wanted it. For the sadistic people out there. Unless you want it. Mm-hmm. It's okay. But no, we actually ended up being fine. Mm-hmm. It made us stronger. It made us learn a lot of things about each other very quickly. Because like I said, we only dated for like 4 or 5 months when we did it. Which now looking back, what the fuck?
No, I'm guilty of it as well. I've moved in really quickly with my partner, and now we're going to be getting married. So, it'd be like that. No, I'm not wearing it. I don't wear it. My fingies are too small now.
Sorry, this is meant to be a podcast. I don't know why I was...
Oh, yeah.
It's a podcast, but we're also going to put it on YouTube.
I will say, though, one really good thing that came from COVID is that since I had to work from home, my fiance and I had to deal with a lot of stuff we had put on the back burner, like a lot of our issues. Mm-hmm. Because you're spending a lot of time with that person
every day,
and
all day.
And it made our relationship a lot stronger because, I was falling back in love with him because I was constantly spending time with him. And that's a big thing, is that our issues aren't from spending too much time together, it's from being away for too long. We get fussy when we're away for too long. So,
yeah, you miss each other. And, yeah.
And then we lash out over dumb shit because we haven't seen each other. So I think it really helped our relationship grow because we started realizing how important we were to each other, and then started dealing with all the shit that we had put on the back burner. And
it helped.
So it helped a lot.
That's great. That's great that we both came out, like, stronger.
And alive.
And alive. Alive. Sorry.
Too soon to make that joke.
And stronger. Yeah. I mean, it definitely tested a lot of relationships, and I'm glad that we came out.
Oh yeah, I heard about the whole opposite. People getting divorced over the pandemic.
Divorce, abuse.
Yeah.
Abuse was I remember that was one of the early articles that Chase read about couples and, like, people during COVID. They ended up, like, abusing each other.
Mm-mm.
Oh God, Jesus.
We don't like
y'all.
that.
Come on, just fuck it out. Fuck it out. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah.
So that was a crazy time. Speaking of crazy times, it's tax season.
Oh yeah. Oh, sorry, my phone went off. Yeah, I actually, beautiful moment. I got my tax refund.
That is so when did you do your taxes?
I did them, I want to say February. Like I can't remember actually. I just know it wasn't January.
So when can you start? Because Casey here used to work at a tax company.
Oh, you can start whenever you get your forms, like your W-2, your 1095.
I thought there was always, like, a specific time.
There's an end date.
I know that, which I'm coming up on.
Yeah.
Which your girl. So we're complete opposites here because
I'm trying to get my money.
She's done it. She's got her money. Because the thought of it is crippling. I will literally...
Do you do it yourself or do you go to someone?
I go to TurboTax. Because... And last year was the first time I ever did it by myself. And it was a shit show. It was just, like, way complicated. But that's because, too, my parents had always done it for me. Or... had me as a dependent, I guess.
Yeah.
And they did it for me, and I never had to. And this last year was the first time I did it alone, and I don't know why, but important paperwork in life just stressed me out. It brings me back to, like, FAFSA days, college form, like, all that shit just stresses me out to where I don't even want to do it, which I know I'm not the only one.
I'm like that with mail. Even if it looks harmless, I hate opening mail because I'm like, oh no, is this something I'm going to have to do? Like, is it something I'm going to have to, sorry, he distracted me. But yeah, no, I was very determined to get my money because I usually get a pretty good refund because the way I handle my paycheck, I let them take all of it.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I need to do mine. I have, so yeah.
I usually see my, I used to work at a tax place.
Yeah. Oh, and that's what I was talking about. Yes.
Yeah. So
used to work at a tax place.
I usually, even though I technically can do my own taxes, I'm big brain enough. I can do my own taxes. However, I used to work for this tax place, and I got really close with my boss because she was originally my tax person, and then she taught me how to do tax. And I still like seeing her, so I'll still like bring her my W-2 and everything. And
how long is the actual process?
Oh, it's not that long. Well, it depends on how much stuff you have, and it also depends on like if you have everything, because I know sometimes like the issue that we'd run into when I worked there is that a lot of the older people would say, yeah, I brought you everything, and then next thing you know, they're like, where's my refund, where's this and that, and it's like, oh, well, did you have anything else? And they're like, oh, I have this form, and it's a 1095, I think A, whichever health insurance is like the Medicare thing or whatever, or the Obamacare. I remember when Obamacare was a thing, and we had to deal with that. So a lot of people would forget they had Obamacare, and so we'd have to redo their tax.
There's so much about it, and I'm glad that it's cool that you worked at a tax place because you know the ins and outs, and that's why you did yours early. You know what it takes, you know what it needs, and you're good to go.
Yeah, well, I also just really wanted to see my old boss, to be honest, because I like to catch up with her because she's the reason I was able to get my career started. Because I started in tax, I was able to get into accounting, which is what I do now.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like I owe her a lot, and that's why I still support her business, and I still
love that.
pay her to do my taxes, even though I kind of know how to do them. I just like, and I also feel, it's weird, I second guess myself a lot, so even though my taxes are really simple, I would rather her do.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it gives a reason to see her. It gives a reason to,
Yeah. I
you know,
to tell her how I'm doing, because
exactly.
she's a big reason for my success. So I like to be like, oh, I'm doing really well. You know, thanks so much for all the opportunities.
That's really sweet. Good guy, Casey.
Mm-hmm,
Good guy,
mm-hmm,
Casey.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So, just a reminder, do your taxes. It's tax season. It's due this year, April.
Oh, gosh. Is it? It's like mid-April, isn't it? Or late? It's either mid or late April.
I think April 18th. I just probably pulled that out of my ass, but it sounded right.
Yeah.
I'm going to do mine.
But even if you don't get them done by then, you still have a time period after that you can do them. I think there's just a slight penalty. I can't remember. Like, if you were supposed to get a refund, you'll get a less refund. I can't remember.
So if I were to do it now, because last year, the first year I did it, they had a delayed...
they might have that this year.
They had a delayed time, which was like June or July, I want to say. I could be totally wrong.
They might do that again. I know with the pandemic, they've definitely been more lenient with that.
The caveat with that is, I did mine last year, first time ever, did it in May, or June, right before the cutoff, because I was like panicking, and I kept getting something wrong. I didn't get my refund till December 28th.
Oh my goodness. Well, yeah, because
but they did say it was super, super backed up. So I'm hoping if I do mine this week or next week, I'll probably get it, in a month or two?
Yeah, probably. You gotta think two things. One, we have the stimuluses, or stimuli. We got the stimulus checks, and so that kind of slowed the IRS down.
I never got one of those.
What?
I didn't know.
You never got a stimulus check.
No, how? I thought we were just getting it, and I never just got it. And I was very blessed to always have a job, so I just didn't think much.
Well, you said that your parents had claimed you, right? On their taxes, because it's tax related, so that's how you got the money.
Yes, so, the year before that, yes.
Yes, so for me, because I had the same bank account for some time, when I got the letter about the stimulus, they're like, oh, it's just going to go to either whatever address you have on file with us, or whatever bank account you last did your taxes with. And so that's how I kept getting the deposits. And I know some people were getting checks mailed to them.
So you're saying my parents have my stimulus?
They might.
My parents have my stimuli.
I'm surprised they didn't say anything to you.
Well, they said they didn't really get any back.
It could also
because of how much they made.
Yeah, there's like a requirement to meet.
I think that's what it was. But I also wasn't that pressed. Like I said, I was very blessed during all of it.
I was very blessed. My thing is that technically I didn't really need it because I had a stable job, like you said. But I did appreciate the check because I had debt. I had a lot of debt. I mean, I do now too, but it's different. Back then, though, I was making less, and those checks helped a lot. I paid a lot of debt off. And, I didn't use it for anything fun. I know a lot of people on the internet joked about using it for fun things, but I was like, no, I'll use it for debt.
What's fun?
Cycle it back in there.
What's fun things? It's just bills all the time.
All the time.
I definitely am going to do mine this week or next. And I'm hoping, because I did it through TurboTax last year, they have everything from last year. And then
I'm surprised you haven't logged on just to check.
I got the emails.
Do you ever get... I have a question. So, do you ever get, like, anxiety about things you know are probably going to be simple to do, like adult tasks?
Yes.
Like... and paranoid if you actually did it correctly or did it, because I know with
I would second guess a lot. I'd be like, that was too easy, something's wrong.
Yeah, because I know when I was enrolling in my health insurance with my new job, I literally took a screenshot of the screen saying it was done. I saved the phone.
That's exactly what I do. That's
I have such
so
bad
crazy.
Anxiety. Like, another piece of shame to share with you today. Sometimes if I make breakfast in the morning, I will take a picture of the stove having the knob on off.
I love that.
Because I will think I left that shit on. I'll be driving on my way to work and I'll be like, did I shut it off? And I'll look at my phone and there's a picture of it off. So
that's how I am with my garage. My garage closer.
I'm so paranoid.
I'll sit in front in my driveway, close the garage, watch it closed, stay there for a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Then I'll back out, move, and then I get to the end of my street, I turn around, and I keep looking. I'm like, is it closed? That's my house, right?
You know what's another crazy thing? Yeah, I'm just going to unload all the crazy tonight. Another crazy thing that I used to do, I don't do it so much anymore. When I was a kid, I used to have to take medicine a lot. So to remember that I took medicine, I would, each day it'd be something different. I would go ahead and get my water, drink it, right, take it. So I would do either like a funky dance or something, or I would like do some weird hand gesture to kind of like reinforce you did it, and that's why you did that weird thing just now, is because you took your medicine.
I love that, and I feel like a lot of people actually do that. Do you?
Nobody wants to talk about it though.
Do you think that it's like low key a little bit like OCD? Is that something like it?
I think it's ADD, which is very ironic. I think it's ADD because it was I was taking ADD medication. So right before taking my ADD medication, I would do a weird hand gesture to be like, okay, you're taking it.
Oh, I could just imagine you in the kitchen doing like finger guns, like I just did it, I'm about to do it.
Or I'd put my hair in a ponytail and be like, why is my hair in a ponytail?
Yeah. That's why. No, I think a lot of people actually do that. I'm trying to think if I ever had an example like that, and for some reason it's not coming to me, but I know I've done weird things. Yeah. I'm weird. Yeah, there's a dog here. I'm not just looking. You don't see.
He's stinky. Hold on. Oh wait, no. No, people who are listening.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah. If you're listening, there's a dog. Sorry, first episode. Bear with us.
Yeah.
We will get it together as time goes.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, whoa! Well, if you're on video, Tyrion has made a special appearance.
His breath is very stinky. I wish that you guys could smell it.
A wild Tyrion has appeared.
He's so look at
Pokeball. So yes. Well, thank you. I said welcome again. Well, welcome for coming. Thank you for coming and listening and being a part of our random conversation.
Yeah.
We're going to do this once a month. Mm-hmm. Right now it's not set on exactly what day, but it's once a month.
Yep.
And we're going to be on YouTube because we're going to do video, and then we're going to be on a podcast app near you.
We haven't worked that all out yet.
We're still working out everything, but we're going to get there. We're going to one day look back on this and be like, whoa, what a shit show. You know? But it's going to get better.
But I love that, because here's the thing, right, about these kind of, like, especially being in a generation where we start with technology, we kind of got used to, like, videos and things like that. I feel like it's fun to look back on. Like, there's so many, like, videos that I kind of wish I kept and didn't delete because of shame, because I know I got embarrassed very easily, so I would delete them. And I feel like even if nobody cares or everybody hates it, it's still fun to look at for yourself, to be like, "Aw, look at me trying. Look at me, so cute."
You are cute. We're both cute.
We're very cute.
Come back and listen. Yeah. You can't. I hope we sound cute. I would never know. I'm not going to listen to myself. So the editing is going to be very rough. Apologies ahead. But come back. Yeah. Come join us for this random ride. We're going to talk about anything and everything under the sun. We are super vulgar and we don't hold anything back. So, yeah.
All right.
Continue as guest. Till the next time. Bye.
Yeah, I'm in charge of that.